Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going on a walk and I figured I would bring y'all along because sometimes it helps me process my thoughts when I'm walking. So I'm going to start telling y'all my story. So I started out just being a normal child, normal life, did things normal people did. I guess the first thing that happened that may have been a sign was that I started having really bad anxiety in 2010, and we're not sure if that was a sign or not. But time went on and it did get a little bit better. So it wasn't till 2012 that things started to get bad again. And this time it wasn't my anxiety. In 2012 I went to my doctor's checkup and the doctor had me bend over. She wanted to check my back and she noticed a curve in my spine and wanted me to go see an orthopedic doctor. So I went to see the orthopedic doctor and he did an x-ray and said that I had scoliosis. And scoliosis is where you have a curve in your spine. It usually happens during a growth spurt. And so it wasn't too severe at that time. So he said we would just watch it for now. And then in 2013, it started to get worse. So the doctor decided to put me in a brace, and I wore the brace for about a year, I think. I'll insert a picture of the brace here. So time went on, and in 2013, in October, I think, I got really sick. We weren't really sure what was wrong. I hadn't been feeling well and went to see my doctor, and she looked at my blood and saw my numbers and sent me to the ER. So I went to the ER and they sent me to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital to do a blood workup to make sure I didn't have some kind of disorder or anything. And I didn't. And my mom told, just like she had told my back doctor, I think I left that out. She told the people at St. Jude, her dad has muscular dystrophy. Could this be related to muscular dystrophy? And the doctor said no. Every time they said no. So we didn't know what was going on, and we just were sort of looking for answers, couldn't figure it out. In 2014, I was doing a little bit better, but I still wasn't all the way better. And my grandmother had the muscular dystrophy that my father has and went into the hospital and wasn't doing well. And at that time, my mom thought, I wonder if Hannah has muscular dystrophy. So she asked me to squeeze her hands, because one of the typical signs with the form that I has is if you squeeze someone's hands really tight or put your hand in a tight fist, you can't release it. So she asked me to do that, and I couldn't release when I squeezed her hands, and she knew then that I had it. So my parents scheduled an appointment with a neurologist, and then we went. The doctor could tell without even doing the blood testing that I had it, but still did the blood testing, and we got the results in June or July of 2014 that I had myotonic dystrophy type 1. So during this time in my life, in 2014, well, let me backtrack for a minute. So as far as my faith goes, I was saved when I was 5 and was baptized when I was 10. But as I got scoliosis, and then I got really sick, and then I got diagnosed with myotonic dystrophy type 1, I started having a lot of doubts, like, how could a God that loves me give me a disease for which there's no cure? And it was just really hard on me, and I started having doubts about my faith and stuff. I went to summer camp in July of 2014, and hearing things the pastor said really hit home for me. And talking with my camp counselor, I ended up, while I was at camp, rededicating my life to Christ. Because even though God loves me, and I knew that, He gave me this for a purpose. And even though I'm not 100% sure what that purpose is, whether it is for me to share with y'all on YouTube or not, there's a purpose behind it, and God will reveal that to me at some point. As I said earlier, the doctor had put me in a back brace, and I had to wear it pretty much 24/7. But as I started going to my MDA appointments for my myotonic dystrophy, we noticed I was having some lung issues, some breathing issues, and the pulmonologist said that I could no longer wear the back brace because it was restricting my breathing. So I was, of course, happy because the back brace was so uncomfortable, but the bad news was my curve could get worse. So I saw the cardiologist, everything was fine. And then soon after, I went to see my orthopedic doctor for my scoliosis. And he said the curve was getting worse, which they expected because of the myotonic dystrophy. Because once I was diagnosed, they realized, oh, the myotonic dystrophy is what's causing the curve, because my back muscles could not hold my spine in place. So he started talking a little bit about surgery, but said he would just follow me really closely and see me back in a few months. I went back, and the curve had grown some more, and that's when he really said, we need to do surgery. My curve was 44 degrees at that point, and that's plus or minus 5 because of how they measure it. It's not going to be completely accurate. And so they usually do surgery at 50 degrees, and since I had myotonic dystrophy and my lungs were weak, he decided, make sure it's okay with the pulmonologist and we'll go ahead and do surgery. So May 28th of 2015, I had a spinal fusion for my back. It was a hard surgery. I don't remember a lot of things because I was on a lot of medications. Yeah, it was really hard. I remember being in a lot of pain, being uncomfortable, having to get up and move, which was hard. But while I was in the hospital, I started having some breathing difficulties. After surgery, my oxygen would drop, and at one point they got it back up. But the second time it happened, they couldn't get it back up. And this was very scary for my mom, I know. So they sent me to the intermediate ICU for extra care to try and get my breathing to improve. They did end up getting it back up. I had to be on a external ventilator, I think is what it's called, for a while. Eventually they were able to take me off of it during the day, but I had to use it at night. So I was in the hospital for a total of 2 weeks, and my surgeon was not planning on me going home with a walker, but I couldn't walk without it because the surgery made my muscles so weak and I would get out of breath so easily. Like today I'm walking, I couldn't walk as far as I've been walking after my surgery. So it was a really tough time for me. It was really scary, but I knew God's promise. Therefore we do not lose heart, though outwardly we are wasting away, yet inwardly we are being renewed day by day. For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. So we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but what is unseen. For what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. That was the verse that was constantly in my head, playing over and over and over again. I knew there was a purpose, and I knew it was temporary. I knew I could get through it with the help of God. And I did, obviously. So, I guess after that, I had to go to physical therapy for a while to get off of the walker, and that helped a lot. And I slowly got stronger as time went on. So that's where I'm going to leave the video off today, and I will pick up next time with how my story continues. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Be sure to comment and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you get notified when I post new videos. If you have any questions, please do leave them in the comments below, as I plan to do a Q&A at some point soon. Thanks again for watching. Hope you have a great day. Today's piece of encouragement is Romans 8:28, which says, "And we know in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose."